Now, why do you need a crystal grid is the next question. We need crystal grids for so many very various reasons. Like I said, grids are very important because they can help you amplify your intention. When you are using a single quartz crystal, it manifests the particular properties of that particular crystal to help for your divine purpose. But supposing the purpose is something that is an uphill task or something big that you are requiring, and you need all the energies and all the magic you can muster. If you are looking for that, then it is best to go with a grid which will magnify and multiply and amplify the energies that you need. So, best to work with a grid if it is a bigger intention. Your intent will need the kind of focus. If it is a big intention, it will need the kind of focus and power that only a grid can serve for you. You can use the combined power of and the energy of the grid, so that you can use it effectively to serve what you need. Supposing it is a goal that you want to reach, for example, you are looking for a career success and you are looking for protection, or you are looking for you are looking at you are starting your journey in your the journey in your life. Supposing it is the journey of maybe you are getting married and you are looking for love to manifest in a beautiful way in your life, then you will need the power of a grid. If you are stepping forward in a business venture, and so if you are looking to resolve any issues, if you are wanting to use your crystal in the way it is supposed to be used, it is always best to research your crystal, research the properties of your crystal in order to manifest the particular intentions that you are seeking. When you do this, you will see that the power of your grid can be used with confidence and manifest it accordingly. Let us look at the grid elements. First of all, when we say grid, what it is that a grid is supposed to be made of. Let us look at that. All crystals are built from many, of course, many parts, and all have a specific purpose. When you make a grid, it can be a grid with 3 elements, 3 crystals. It can be a grid with 5 crystals. Numbers also matter. This also includes the design of a crystal, creating the parts of the crystal. All that is very important when you are talking about the crystal grid. The visual elements that you create in your crystal grid, the geometric pattern, the designs, the perimeter of your grid, where is the path leading and what is the focus stone, all that is important. And you also require a wand to activate the grid. So, let us go by this, understand this by going through it step by step about what it is your crystal grid needs. When you say grid, a grid is always made up of more than one crystal. So, what a grid needs basically first is knowledge of sacred patterns. What are the patterns which are considered sacred? What are the patterns which are considered powerful enough to manifest your intentions? Crystal grids can be made up of 3 or more than 3 crystals, not one, always more than one. Number of crystals, you can keep many crystals or a few crystals. That depends on the kind of intention that you want, what your requirement is. It depends on that. Grids can serve many different purposes and they have many different parts. A grid will basically have this. It will have a focus stone, it will have way stones which is surrounding it, and then it will have the desire stone, which is along the way. After the way stones, you will have the desire stones. Then you have the path leading to these desire stones and the way stones. And then you have the visual, which is the typical picture of the your grid. The visual is basically the background upon which the grid is created. The visual is basically your geometrical pattern placed upon a particular picture or placed in a certain manner. That is the visual, because the visual is the impact and the energy which is sending forth into the universe. So, this is very important when you make a crystal grid. Let's start with first the most practical important part of your grid is the hero of your grid is your focus stone or your master stone. The focus stone is the stone which is placed in the center or the heart of your grid. It has the purpose, or it is having the major work which it has to do. It is the task which you apply on it. The focus stone will have to amplify the universal energies of life and manifest. So, when you are keeping a focus stone, make sure the focus stone has the properties or the elements that you need for your particular desire. So, supposing you need love, you use a focus stone, a huge master stone made up of a rose quartz. If you are looking for the power of wisdom, you can use an amethyst, and so in that particular way. So, when you are keeping a focus stone or a huge big stone in the middle of your grid, make sure you research properly what are the properties of your focus stone before you place it on your grid. The next one after the focus stones is the way stones. The way stones are the stones or gemstones that are surrounding your center stone, or on the path of your center stone. You will have a path surrounding your focus stone. That path is leading along that path is your way stones. Just next to the focus stone you will find the way stones. Their purpose is to modify the energy of the grid and magnify its purpose. So, it needn't be the same as the center stone or the focus stone. It can be maybe a clear quartz. Way stones usually are clear quartzes. So, always use a clear quartz, or you can use whichever you feel will help the purpose. You can, if you are say for example, you are trying to get you are trying to manifest abundance or trying to manifest wealth, you can keep a aventurine in the center, and you can surround it with way stones all around it. You can way stones can be made up of your quartz crystals. So, the next one after your way stones which go along the path, you have your desire stones. Desire stones, once we go through the PPT, you will understand what it is I mean by focus stones, way stones and the desire stones. So, let us just go through the each step by step first, practically, theoretically speaking, then we can see practically how it looks. After the desire way stones, you have the desire stones. Desire stones are usually at the outermost perimeter. They come after the focus stone, you have the way stones, then you have your desire stones. They are almost on the always on the outermost perimeter of your grid, and they are usually stones which have specific properties same as the grid focus stone. Okay, and their specific purpose, so that when you ask the universe to help you amplify the greater good, the universal properties will help you with the help of the desire stones. That is why they are called desire stones. Your focus stones and your desire stones have to match. The path is the energy line from the focus stone through the way stones and to your desire stones. This will align the energies and also help to flow and balance and serve your purpose in the divine path of universal energies. The visual is very important to serve your manifestation in the grid. The visual is so very important. If the visual of your grid is perfect, then your manifestation also will come into place. It is basically the background on which the sacred geometry grid is placed. So, if your intent or purpose is to manifest love, you can place a visual background. Maybe you can put a heart shape, on that you can put your design, or you can place it the sacred geometry pattern on a pink background, because pink is about love. And if you are looking for or you can place the visual on roses, picture of roses. If it is money that you are looking for, you can have it on a green background with money in the background or something, and the sacred geometry pattern of the grid is placed upon this green color or on a visual money pattern. Okay. All grids can be enhanced or can be powerfully magnified with a great visual. Visual is very important. It is like your supposing you when you make a list, and when you make say you are looking for a to follow your life's goals. You make a list of things, you make a wish list, this is what I want. So when you make that wish list and put it on your board, that board will tell you what it is you are going to do with your life, and that will give you a clear intention, and it will keep bringing it back for you. Similarly, when you place your grid in a particular intention, you are sending this visual out into the universe and creating that kind of energy, manifesting that kind of higher vibrational frequency for the universe to bring it into your life. So this is very important. In case you do not know how to make your own grid, and in case you are unsure in the beginning about how you can make this grid work for you and how you can make a grid practically, you can always go about preparing your grid by buying a kit off the market online, or in a shop which where you can buy. Do ample research. I would suggest do research when you are buying a grid kit, and prepare or you can prepare your own and verify the rightness of it by going online and seeing the different grids available in the market, or how people are going about making. Pinterest will show you a lot of visuals and a lot of effective grids to serve your purpose. Now let's go to crystal grid activation. How do you activate a grid? To activate a grid, after making the sacred geometry pattern and placing your focus stone, your waste stones and your desire stones along the pattern, to activate a grid, you will need a wand. You already know what a wand is from your previous lessons. In the first phase itself, in our first it's a step itself, we have learned how to work with wands. Now to activate your grid also you need wands. The wand is typically like your Harry Potter wands. It can be a small one at the end of a stick. You can have a single terminated or a double terminated wand as well. It will transmit the activation of your energy with your mind from the tip of the termination into the grid, and it will channel all the universal force into that grid. Meditate with your eyes closed and hold the wand in your hand, and when you have decided your intention, and when you have asked the universe to serve its purpose, you can place that intention on the tip of your wand, keep it on your third eye chakra like we did in the previous intention in the previous class. You can do that, and then place the tip of your wand on the third eye chakra, and let all the energy from your third eye chakra flow into the tip of your wand, and then focus your intention upon the tip and point the wand on your focus stone to start with. When you point on the focus stone, let the energy channeled from your third eye into the tip of the wand flow into the focus stone. Imagine that white light, white energy channeling into your focus stone. Imagine that energy flowing along the path of the grid, flowing into the crystal of your waste stones. When it flows into the waste stones, imagine that energy again distributing into the desire stones, and it is getting amplified, and your focus stone, your main stone, is getting activated, and you see a stream of light, beam of light like a laser pointing up into the universe, and it spreads, and the universal life force is coming and performing its manifesting for you. This is how you activate your crystal grid. When you have completed your ritual and you have placed your desire into the universe through the focus stone and through the magic of your wand, be aware that when you are asking the universe to do this, your grid can be aligned for yourself, or it can be also done with a group at one time. Whoever sets the intent, it will manifest for that particular person. And understand that the grid will not help others, nor will it affect others who come close to the grid. This is what you need to understand. With this, we come to the end of the lesson 23. Let's look at the PPT as well. Let's go into the PPT of your lesson 23. As you can see in the lesson 23 PPT, the first uh, slide itself, you can see how the sacred geometry of the Ankh, the sacred design of the Ankh is placed next to the, you can place sacred symbols next to your grid to show the importance, or to show, manifest the vibrations of those sacred symbols into the world. And as you can see, next to the Ankh is also placed Feng Shui, I Ching kind of a symbolism with a and placed in brass. I usually use this, keep this in my the I Ching Feng Shui item. It is usually 3 round kind of this things with symbols on it, Feng Shui symbols all across it. It helps with abundance, and I keep it in my purse. Similarly, people use it to place it around an abundance grid. You can use it like that as well. Let's look at the second grid, crystal grid. The slide which we are looking at, let's understand first of all, a crystal is an arrangement of crystals. A crystal grid is an arrangement of crystals in a specific geometric pattern or design. It is created with the help of multiple crystals to manifest your purpose or your intention. The third slide shows you, as you can see, the third slide, as you can see, shows you how to incorporate sacred geometry into designs such as the flower of life. This particular grid is actually the seed of life. As you can see, it is a sacred geometrical pattern. This is called the seed of life, and it has an agate in the center surrounded by rose quartz crystals and garnets and rubies. This is possibly a love and protection crystal, love protection crystal. It can be used like this also. Now, how to make your crystal grid basically is, first of all, as I told earlier, choose your intention, what it is that you want. So that you have to understand the property of a crystal and understand what intention serves what purpose, and which gemstone works with which particular crystal. So, which particular intention, what properties your crystal is. So, accordingly, according to your intention, choose the right crystal. And you can also choose the right design, geometrical design. You will have to research when you are creating a geometrical design. The geometrical design in this particular slide is where mentioned next to choose your geometry is the sacred flower of life pattern. This is also supposed to be a powerful manifestation grid. You can and to complete a crystal grid and to manifest, you have to activate it as well. What a grid needs. When I was teaching you earlier, I told you about focus stones, way stones and desire stones. Now, your focus stone is the main stone which is in the center of your grid. It is the heart of your grid, and the focus stone has to be your main purpose for which you have made your grid. So, that is your focus stone. The way stones can usually be clear quartz, as I showed you, and as I told you earlier, it can be an all purpose crystal. So, as you can see in the grid as well, you have a clear quartz way stones. The next outermost perimeter is usually the desire stones, and they usually match with your focus stone, because the focus stone and your desire stone will have particular intentions for which you are building the grid. So, your desire stones and your focus stone is usually matched. The path is the sacred pattern upon which the grid is made. Like you can see the flower design. This is the sacred flower design. So, you can see the path over here. This is the path of the crystal, and the visual is the background of the grid. So, this is basically what a grid needs. Then you have to understand how to activate a crystal grid. You choose, first of all, you have to choose a wand and meditate on it, and you channel all the energies into the tip of the wand, point it at your focus stone and feel the energy flow into the focus stone. When you feel the energy flow into focus stone, it will flow on to the path of the grid and all the crystals in perfect sacred pattern, and your third eye will focus its intent upon it. Close your ritual by thanking the universe for helping you with its design geometrical pattern and helping you power your intent. These are the crystals you can place in your office desk. You can place a selenite, an amethyst, a black tourmaline, a clear quartz, a lapis lazuli, a smoky quartz, a citrine, or a fluorite. These all work well for your career, and it can be placed on your office desk. Your protection crystals are the following as is shown in the PPT. You can have a black obsidian, tiger stone, smoky quartz, fluorite, fire agate. As you can see from the picture over here, this is a smoky quartz, this is an amethyst, this is a black obsidian, this is a black tourmaline, this is a fire agate, this is your tourmalinated quartz, then you have a fluorite and a jet stone and the jasper. These are all protection crystals, please. Understand this, if you are making a protection grid, protect your home, your personal space and your personal aura. These are the gemstones you can use for protection. And this particular pattern at the end, before we end the lesson, this particular pattern is for third eye. It is for activating your intuition, and what has been used here is basically turquoise and lapis lazuli. So, these are the quartzes and gemstones that you can use to activate your third eye. Even amethyst can be used. With that, we come to the end of this particular lesson 23. Namaste.